Hello my dear, today we are going to make two lists of bacteria. The number one group, that is exotoxin producing bacteria, and number two, that is endotoxin producing bacteria. Sometimes many of us get confused which one is correct or which one is incorrect in terms of production of exotoxin and endotoxin. So at first, what are the exotoxin producing bacteria? The number one, the most important, is Staphylococcus. You know, the Staphylococcus aureus produce three exotoxin. The number one is toxic shock syndrome toxin, number two enterotoxin, and number three scald skin syndrome toxin. Then Streptococcus produce two important exotoxin. The number one is erythrogenic toxin, that is responsible for scarlet fever, and number two streptococcal toxic shock syndrome toxin. Next, Bacillus anthracis and Bacillus cereus. Bacillus anthracis is responsible for the anthrax, that may be cutaneous anthrax or pulmonary anthrax, whatever it is, but this anthrax is caused by exotoxin. And mind it, this exotoxin is used in the formulation of anthrax vaccine. And Bacillus cereus responsible for food poisoning, and Bacillus cereus produce two type of exotoxin. The number one exotoxin acts just like cholera toxin, and second type of exotoxin produced by Bacillus cereus just act like as staphylococcal enterotoxin. Bacillus cereus can produce exotoxin that act just like staphylococcal enterotoxin, that is act like superantigen. Then Clostridium, almost all the species of Clostridium produce exotoxin. Here important note is the Bacillus and the Clostridium are spore forming organism. Next, Bordetella pyotosis responsible for whooping cough. And the last and very notorious organism is the Corynebacterium diphtheri, that is responsible for diphtheria, exotoxin mediated or exotoxin producing organism. Now we will look at the second group, that is endotoxin producing bacteria. The number one endotoxin producing bacteria is E. coli, the most notorious. Then Vibrio cholerae, Salmonella, Shigella, Klebsiella, Brucella, Pseudomonas, Proteus, and Neisseria. All these are well known to us, and all these are gram-negative organisms. As a whole, exotoxin and endotoxin producing bacteria. Exotoxin producing bacteria are almost gram positive, and endotoxin producing bacteria are gram negative, but mind it, the gram negative, sometimes gram negative organism can produce exotoxin. That means exotoxin can be produced mainly produced by gram positive organism, but sometimes exotoxin can be produced by gram negative organism. On the other hand, endotoxin is only and only produced by endotoxin. There is no gram positive bacteria that can produce endotoxin. So this difference you have to mind it. Exotoxin and endotoxin. Exotoxin can be secreted from the bacterial cell wall, but endotoxin cannot be secreted. Rather, with the death of the organism, the endotoxin is released. Exotoxin is very highly toxic and it shows antigenicity, but endotoxin is less toxic. Endotoxin is less toxic and poorly antigenic. Exotoxin can be used in the formulation of vaccine, that is toxoid, but endotoxin cannot be used in the formulation of vaccine. This is all about exotoxin and endotoxin, exotoxin producing bacteria and endotoxin producing bacteria. So thank you very much.